Hi.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Enrique?
Oh, doing great to be over here. Thank you for having me, and thank you for hosting and having this amazing event that we all need, especially in people in Latin America, so that then we have more access to the knowledge, right? That we all should have as freedom enthusiasts as we are.
That's right. That's right. And Enrique, what part of the world are you in?
Miami. I'm in Miami
Ah,
this week, and then Puerto Rico, and then from over there, then the Middle East. But obviously, Caribbean and the and Latam, right, are very close to my heart. So,
fantastic. I'm
how
in
about you?
Argentina this week, and I'm going to go to Puerto Rico next week, which is
Oh, there you
where
go.
I also live. A lot of people from Puerto Rico in the house. I'd love to see in the chat people just go ahead and type where you're from, and
Absolutely.
let's see where everybody's from in this stage. I see Miami, a lot of Miami. This is awesome. So we're going to have two different stages. Haha, nice. Which
There you
continent are
go.
you from?
I love it.
Thank you, producers. We are going to have two different stages today. We have this stage that we're all in, and then we're going to have another stage, a second stage, and that one is going to be primarily in Spanish. And that one's going to be, we're going to have just fantastic speakers over there. And feel free to go between the different stages. And then there's also the lounge. And in the lounge, you guys can just go and like talk amongst yourselves and meet other Bitcoiners, meet other people in the space, continue conversations that maybe started in the panel, and then you want to keep talking about it.
So,
So,
what's the
Enrique,
main
what are you
purpose
looking
of
for?
today? Tell me, what's the main purpose of today? To celebrate
Well,
what?
today we're celebrating Bitcoin as legal tender in El Salvador.
Yay!
That's right. It's the first year, and we've definitely come a really long way. El Salvador has definitely stuck their neck
Absolutely.
out to do it first and to see what works and what doesn't work. And we're going to have a lot of people that were a part of that process that are going to be talking today. And I hope that everybody can learn from that. And we're also going to be talking about what that could mean in other countries, other continents. We have a big representation from Africa, South America, and I'm very
Europe
much
is over
looking
here,
forward.
50% so far in
The
the
what?
poll.
The
Europe.
Yeah,
If you look
15.
at the
We
poll
have
right now,
we
the
have
continents,
European
yeah,
folks as well.
yeah.
That's right. I mean, hopefully we have people from all over the world. I'm curious to see how many people from Asia. That's going to be fun to see how many. But we're going to be discussing, what Bitcoin means from a regulatory perspective, from a freedom perspective, from a mining perspective. I'm going to be in the mining panel.
Awesome.
And let me turn off the volume in the green room. And yeah, and so what I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to seeing what different people from around the world are interested in when it comes to Bitcoin and what is important to them and why they're here, why this is important for them. How about you, Enrique? What are you looking
And so
forward
many
to
different
today?
topics. Well, for me, all of this started, way back in 2009 when I got the hold of the Beacon white paper, and then from there I transitioned very quickly into
2009,
2009.
fresh off the press.
2009. I was working at the government when I got it, and at first we, the reason why I got it was to apply it for something else. Actually, was to apply it for aerospace and aviation to see if we could apply it. But then when I got in, I went through the whole rabbit hole and learning more about what it meant to have this, digital asset. Then I got more involved into Bitcoin and what could actually represent Bitcoin to so many people. And that's really what drove me to then be even more involved in with this technology or this revolution, as I think. So, and the way that I have seen it evolve in Latin America is completely different from the way that it has evolved in other places like the US or in Europe, right? So, for a lot of us in Latin America, Argentina, Mexico, Colombia, Venezuela, you name it, Jamaica, Puerto Rico. I mean, it represents a way to financial freedom as we have never seen before, which that was not necessarily the way that it evolved in the US, right? In Argentina, we actually needed to have crypto to somehow avoid the collapse of the, of the local currency and try to save some of our wealth. Well, in the U.S., right, that's not the case. In the U.S., the case was that people wanted to trade and probably get some loans using crypto as collateral, or doing for something else, but it was not out of the you know fear and desperation of the collapse of their local currency, of the
Right.
U.S. dollar in our case. So it has been great to see the evolution of crypto and Bitcoin in different countries, and at the end of the day, this is technology that we use however we want to use it, right? For our specific needs. Right? It could be for trading, it could be for it can be for a loan, it could be for whatever we want. But the beauty is that in one very simple coin or token, we put a coin, then you can have a lot of different technologies collapse into one, right? So you can have a physical US dollar collapse into Bitcoin. You can have the 5 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents. All of that can be also used, using Bitcoin. You can be paid using Bitcoin. You can have typically, if you're going to pay more than $3,000 or $5,000, you're probably going to send a wire. Well, you can do wires, in the form of Bitcoin, right? As well. So it's just amazing how is that, this programming, this code, pretty much collapse so many different uh, legal tenders that we have used throughout this time. So, but yeah, I'm excited to be over here, and let's go, ready to go.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I think that the next panel is still getting ready. So unless they interrupt us with a video, I see Bree moving her hand. I have more questions for you, Enrique. What country or what's next? Who's next? Who do you think is ready for making Bitcoin legal tender next?
It's a it's it well every from a country perspective, right, macro level government perspective, then it's a very interesting question in terms of how do you deal with the most likely the need and the desire of your citizens for this technology, but then at the same time, how do you balance that with international trading, which maybe at the international level might not be at that moment for that specific country a a good move, strategic move from a government point of view, right? Because maybe you can have some limits to access to other sources of capital,
Mm-hmm.
which we have seen that some central banks saying, well, if you guys go with a Bitcoin, then we might limit how much money then we loan you guys, right? So, and if you're a small country, then that's something that you have to be extremely careful because it can definitely hurt your citizens overall. So, yeah, I mean, just looking to see then how things are going to evolve between big and small countries, and
Mm-hmm.
and and I think that countries that are in the Caribbean, Latin America, they have a huge opportunity right now to just leapfrog and not have to go through all the research and development of other bigger countries. No, you can actually just grab this technology and you can use it for maybe your energy industry. Maybe you can use it for your right for government. Right, so much can be done within the government. Right, in terms of crypto as a voting mechanism, or Bitcoin as a way to secure legal, very important documents from a government point of view. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of potential uses. The usage, I think that it just depends on who's going to be that next leader that is going to then push this technology forward. You have UAE. UAE has been pushing this very hard, right? Dubai, everybody knows about the role of Dubai in crypto. Obviously, we have all these other countries in the Caribbean, Puerto Rico potentially, but I mean, we're so tied to the U.S. in that sense, in terms of our currency, that most likely is never going to happen for the time being. But you also have some of the other current governments that, yeah, they have a potential, right? Bahamas is looking over there, right? You're talking about Caribbean, Bermuda as well. Barbados is very well positioned as well. So I think that the smaller countries that they don't have too much to lose, they're probably going to be the ones that are just going to say, you know what, let's just do it. I mean, let's just go ahead. I mean, I think that's kind of what happened with El Salvador and the president. They were like, well, let's just give this other option and see what happens. At the very least, I salute him for having just the vision and the audacity to then do something like this and be able to prove to his own citizens that, yeah, we need to take risk if we want to be a big economy, right, in Latin America, or if we want to be great entrepreneurs, we have to take risk, and that's something that I just appreciate that he took that initiative. So
Yeah, and I mean the beauty of Bitcoin is that we can use it even if our governments don't want
that's
us
right.
to. So there's also that. And like you say, in Puerto Rico we might not be ready yet, but that doesn't mean that we can't use it, and that we're not using it, and that we're not, you know, using it to send money to our family in like Cuba, for example. And it has been, Bitcoin is already a freedom tool, and
Mm-hmm.
governments. I agree that pressure from people is going to be important. So making sure that people understand what Bitcoin is, how it's different from crypto, from everything else, and really understand the technology so that they can help enlighten their friends on why it is that so many of us have said that we're orange pilled.
And I guess very quickly, just to begin the conference, then none of the things that we are either Alana or I are going to say are legal or financial advice and blah blah blah. The whole thing that we are not giving
Blah
any
blah
financial
blah.
advice to anyone. So please don't try to sue us for something that maybe you heard of us talking about how pumped we are about Bitcoin. No, we're not. Giving you financial advice on how to use your money for Bitcoin or for whatever shitcoin you would like to have. But just go ahead, have fun. And what I always tell people is, at the very least, just put some money, buy some, and see what happens. Maybe that's a good way to start learning. So
Awesome. Well, we have 4 minutes until the next panel. I think that it would be awesome to play a video. We have a video that I'm currently producing a documentary, Enrique. I don't know if you know this, but I'm producing a documentary on Bitcoin mining and the controversy surrounding Bitcoin mining and what that is. And I'm very excited about the panel that's going to be coming up later today. And we're going to have great speakers, and I'm going to be asking them questions about mining. I just spent the last week in Paraguay and just finding out everything that's going on there, the miners that have moved down there, the hydroelectric dam that they have in Itaipu, and it's really exciting how Bitcoin mining is helping Paraguay finance their grid infrastructure, because it's not enough to have the power. You need to be able to distribute it.
correct.
And in order to distribute it, you need to have customers that will buy it. Otherwise, it's very expensive.
Yeah, you're off takers, of course.
So Bitcoin mining has been absolutely essential, and not just Bitcoin mining, but the thing about mining specifically is that it can be anywhere. You can have a dirt road. I actually went through one that was, we actually had to drive through a dirt road. If it were a factory, it would be, you would also need to have more street infrastructure, access to docks so that you can ship things. And when we look at electro intensive industries, or any technology like that, their data centers, they need to have access to extremely fast internet, and landlocked countries like Paraguay don't always have access to that. So Bitcoin mining is definitely very exciting in developing countries in really helping them build out their energy infrastructure. So, and it wouldn't be able to do that if it didn't consume as much energy as it does. It
And
wouldn't
that's
really
the
be the
beauty.
case.
I think that's one of the beauties of all of this, that we in Bitcoin, or just to be even broader, right? We in crypto, whenever for some reason anyone have put us some kind of an obstacle, then we're so freaking maniac in terms of being creative that then we say, okay, perfect, we're going to take that obstacle and then we're going to make it convert it into an opportunity. So we had this obstacle of, you miners are consuming too much electricity, and that's going to hurt us, right, as a country. That's going to hurt the environment, the whole climate. The sun is going to explode tomorrow because of all your consumption. And then what we did, right? We in the
All
mining
the
industry,
electricity is going to be used up.
yeah, we said, perfect. Okay, then what we're going to do, we're just going to put renewable energy and make it a whole microgrid. And then we're going to use solar panels, hydro, wind, whatever. But we're going to then continue using this technology, and then make it efficient or climate, or green, because that's what you want. And the good
That's
thing of
funny.
all of that is that then that has then led to different states in the United States, different countries as well, then saying, okay, now we can transition very quickly or smoothly, right, from any kind of
Yep.
carbon based
Okay.
energy to something else. So, and
That's
we did
right.
it. So, right.
We sure did. And now we're going to watch a video and the event that we're going to continue. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.